All right, moving on. There's nothing more we love covering on Newsfighters than a completely expected state by-election result.
Political miracle. The Nationals reclaim the upper hunter in a shock by-election win.
The New South Wales coalition government has claimed victory in a crucial state by-election.
The New South Wales Deputy Premier John Barilaro has declared the Nats are back.
Yes, in New South Wales, the Conservative Rural National Party triumphed in a state by-election, re-winning a seat they've always won in a coal mining area north of Sydney. But hang on, why is the media saying that an incumbent reclaiming a safe seat is a miracle?
By-elections usually see swings against governments, and this was a coalition in its third term trying to hold a seat vacated by a Nationals MP who was accused of sexual assault and sending lewd texts in Parliament.
That's despite government scandals exposing several weak spots, including the mismanagement of workers' compensation scheme iCare, the Premier's bombshell at ICAC about a relationship with disgraced MP Darryl Maguire, a separate corruption inquiry into Drummoyne MP John Sidoti, 2 police investigations, one into departed National Michael Johnson, the other former Minister Gareth Ward, the pork barrelling of $250 million council grants scheme, an internal war over koala planning protections, and a slanging match between 2 senior ministers over the federal seat of Eden-Monaro.
So given all those controversies and a drop in the Nationals' primary vote, the media is of course focused on what's wrong with the Labor Party.
The state Labor Party is at war tonight.
Jodi McKay tonight digging in as leader, attempting to ignore severe unrest within her party.
Labor's leader feels the heat.
New South Wales Labor leader Jodi McKay is facing increasing pressure to step down after her party's by-election loss on the weekend.
Yes, despite there only being a 3% swing against Labor after preferences in the middle of a once-in-a-century pandemic in a seat they had no chance of winning, at the end of a long week, Labor leader Jodi McKay stepped down from the leadership.
Jodi McKay has resigned as New South Wales Labor leader. She'd been under increasing pressure to stand down after Labor's poor showing in the Upper Hunter by-election. Ms McKay says she made her decision despite the support of the party caucus, and she also blamed those within New South Wales Labor who never accepted her leadership.
I have spent the last 6 days reflecting on how to achieve unity. And I have decided that this offers the party the best opportunity to heal and to move forward. But there also has to be a future where there is no destabilising of the party's leader from within.
Yes, once again, the faceless men of the Labor Party undermine their female leader to the point where she quits before even getting to face an election. And this is the party without the woman problem. Earlier in the week, Jodi McKay was holding firm, saying, well, I might not be popular, but, you know, please.
Am I, perhaps not as popular as Gladys Berejiklian? Yes. But for me, popularity is not what's important.
Yeah, popularity isn't important in a democracy, and until you look up how a democracy works. Jodi, it's literally a popularity contest. State Nationals leader John Barilaro also weighed in on Labor's loss.
You can't just replace the jockey. The horse is broken.
I'm sorry, what does that mean? Is the Labor Party the horse? How do you replace a horse? You saying everyone in the Labor Party should be taken to a glue factory? I really don't follow that analogy. Government Transport Minister Andrew Constance also couldn't resist taking the whip to the horse.
She's indicated she's got to do some soul searching, where you've got to have a soul.
And that's a big call coming from the guy in the party who literally stripped away the soul of Sydney with our lockout laws, raised housing prices for young people, and made public transport so expensive that nobody wants to leave the house. Federal Labor leader Anthony Albanese also had his opinion on the by-election result.
Let's get a bit of perspective here, quite frankly. This is a seat that Labor has not held in the last 9 decades at any time whatsoever.
9 decades is also how long it feels since Labor has been in power. Okay, so with Jodi McKay having fallen off the horse, who's next in line to be the new jockey?
Two-time leadership candidate Chris Minns, Shadow Health Minister Ryan Park and former leader Michael Daly, all seen as potential replacements.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Michael Daly, who lost the state election in 2019. I covered that election in depth on Newsfighters, and the only thing I can remember about that guy is that he once ate a pie.
Eating a lucky pie for breakfast at a local shop.
He opted for his usual fortifying election breakfast, a pie and strawberry milk.
A pie and strawberry milk. I'm here having my lucky pie.
What pie are you having, Mr. Daly?
Just a plain pie with a strawberry milk.
Nice.
For 30 years has had a lucky pie, no sauce.
Plain beef, no sauce. How are you feeling? Confident?
Feel terrific to have my lucky pie.
Anyways, this terrible by-election result isn't just washing up in state politics. Federal Hunter Valley Labor MP Joel Fitzgibbon says Labor needs to do more to support coal.
And in places like the Hunter region, of course, you can't have jobs and job security if you're not clearly in support of the coal mining industry. It's important to so many families, and, you know, they're suspicious of us, Nat. We've said we support them, but we're whispering it. We need to be very loud and clear about that.
Yes, Labor needs to support more coal like the Nationals did, who won the seat. I mean, the Nationals love coal and coal miners. That's why they're always talking up their unwavering support for nuclear energy.
John Barilaro has long championed the benefits of nuclear power.
Uranium mining and nuclear energy should be part of Australia's economic future, let alone energy future.
The man who chairs today's nuclear parliamentarian roundtable was the Nationals MP Barnaby Joyce.
If you seriously want zero emissions, if that's what knocks you out, if that's what blows your hair back, well then nuclear power is where you're going to have to go.
You and your National Senate colleagues and Barnaby Joyce have made it clear you won't vote for the Clean Energy Fund legislation unless nuclear power is included.
We should start looking at nuclear.
It is a cheap, reliable source of energy.
The only political party to stick its head up on this issue is the National Party.
The National Party is 100% behind this, and we hope our coalition partners will follow us.
Yeah, coal miners, how do you like the sound of that? To me, it sounds a bit like the Nationals want you to lose your job so we can have a modular nuclear reactor on every street corner, but that's just me. And National Senator Matt Canavan, who I learnt this week is only 40 years old, time to change that skincare routine, Matt, he loves nuclear energy because it's so much safer than those pesky renewables.
Overall, nuclear has been an incredibly safe technology. People die installing solar panels on roofs.
Yes, the Nationals want us to have a serious look at nuclear power because, you know, power stations never explode out of nowhere. Sorry, what's that, Queensland?
An explosion at a major power station in central Queensland has caused widespread outages across the state, affecting hundreds of thousands of customers.
Approximately 1:45, a fire occurred in one of the turbine halls.
Look, say what you will about windmills, but I've never heard of an exploding windmill getting its own HBO miniseries. So in conclusion, the Nationals are winning elections everywhere by portraying themselves as being the friends of coal miners, all the while lobbying for coal to be replaced by nuclear energy because that sounds like a much safer option. Meanwhile, battery technology is getting better and better. Wind and sunshine are, last time I checked, free, and unless we start investing in renewables soon, I feel like this could be humanity's
last 9 decades.
Newsfighters, Australia's funniest news summary podcast.